5'7" is a good weight where I can still see my abs and I can still see my, my pecs, and I'm a good size shape. That's where I was before my wedding. So the average...
So is your goal now to get where you were before your wedding, or to get where you were at your wedding? Because where you were at your wedding was like movie star model type work. Like no one, even movie stars and models can't maintain that figure. They get in that shape for a job.
No, absolutely no. I wouldn't put myself in that level. I was not that.
You were pretty cut, bro.
I was.
You were pretty cut this time last year.
I was in good shape, but I also it wasn't a maintainable level, and it was if I did it properly. But the thing that happened was I had 3 months to get into the shape, so I basically did
cut corners.
Well, no, I didn't cut corners. I just did. I guess in a sense you could say that, but I did too much cardio. I basically did so much to the point where I lost fat super fast, but it wasn't a maintainable amount because the faster you lose, the faster...
The fat turns into muscle, does it not? I know nothing about this.
No, absolutely not.
Really? Oh, okay.
That's a myth. So what happens...
Oh, okay, cool.
No, yeah, so basically, if the faster you lose fat, the faster you gain it back. It's like if you heat something up in the microwave...
Oh, that doesn't seem fair.
I know. Trust me, man, I know. So the faster you lose fat, the faster you gain it back. That's why you see all these people that do, like, say, like the Arnold, the Arnold competitions, or like these fitness bodybuilding competitions. They'll go and they'll cut a bunch of weight, like dehydrate themselves and stuff. And like this is an extreme compared to what I was at. Like
sure, well, it's just competitive we're talking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then in an average, like they'll drop 50 pounds, and then when they're averagely like standing on an average day, they'll be, say like 200 pounds, but during the competition, they're 170 pounds because they completely deprived themselves of everything they needed to be in an average shape. But, anyways, back to what I was saying. So, before my wedding, I did, like 45 minutes to an hour and a half of cardio every day for like 6 days straight. And then, I lost a bunch of weight and I felt good. I think I didn't feel good, physically, but mentally I did because
well, you look good.
Well, that was it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
So it counts for a lot.
Because I didn't lose it, I knew it was going to come back. I knew I was going to gain my weight back, but I didn't know it was going to come back and then double. That wasn't something I was informed about.
Is that common?
I think, but I don't know. I was told, after a while, cause I was on a bunch of fat burners and I took, I took a bunch of fat burners and I took a bunch of stuff and whatnot, but I ended up, not steroids, but when I say stuff, I've never taken steroids. So I lost this fat really fast, like 3 months to lose 20 pounds is a quite a fast, because to lose your fat in a maintainable level after you lose it and to be able to maintain it is like a pound to a pound and a half a week, like a quarter of a pound a day, or give or take, whatever it is. But I was losing like 3 pounds, 4 or 5 pounds a week, for the first week or two. And then it was like 3 pounds a week after that. And it got to the point where I was at like 170. I felt great mentally because I looked good physically. Mm-hmm. But I gained it back, because my average body weight stance after that, because of the ketogenic diet, was 180. That was where I was sitting, but I didn't have, abs. I had the outline cut.
Like a muscle gut kind of thing. Not a gut, but like the muscles are there, they're just not defined, right?
Yeah, no, almost, except like you could still sort of see my abs. It was like, they just weren't chiseled, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So when I got down to 170, or like give or take, like I had to lose the 10 pounds, I have to go back because I said like it was like 30 pounds. So I lost like 15 pounds on this guy's diet. I'm mixing my diets together.
Jumping around, sure.
Yeah. Before my wedding, I lost the 15 pounds in a very fast pace, but then I maintained it up until the wedding, and then after the wedding...
So what I'm getting here is, like, you tried some drastic stuff that worked, but wasn't maintainable. This guy that you were on up until a month and a half ago, you got really quick results. I was standing next to you through the whole thing. I saw what happened to you. You got really quick results, and you're not doing it anymore, but you're not out of shape either. Like, you don't look, all that different. You're just a little less defined. But like, what you were on with this new guy, did that feel sustainable? Like,
yeah.
Is the only reason you're not still in the condition you were a month and a half ago because of you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So the way I was before, when I lost all that weight prior to the wedding, it wasn't sustainable unless I was willing to do, an hour of cardio every single day, which is not ideal to the average person.
Oh, dude, you've got 3 kids. Who the fuck has time for that shit?
Regardless of whether you have 3 kids or sitting on a treadmill for an hour and a half every day or an hour, and then, and everything else, it wasn't a maintainable thing. But what I did with this guy, and now I don't think whenever you say that, like, I had these results really fast with this crazy regimen, the first one you mentioned, it wasn't as fast as you think, I think, because we spent...
Dude, it was within a month. It was within 4 weeks.
No, I had them for 8 weeks. It was 2 months.
And within the first month, you looked different.
And, okay, so that's where I think this one, like, this diet completely differs from other, because, like, everybody's body is different, right? People's bodies will react differently to every diet, right?
Right.
With this, specific one that I was on, what happened was because I was on, he basically judged me on my, my macros, and my, calorie intake. So instead of taking in what I was doing before, it was 2,500 calories, which is what you take in to keep an average body weight of 180, 190 pounds. But, so you take in you take in your calorie intake to keep the 180 pound mark, but then you do cardio to take that calorie mark down. You know what I mean? That's basically where you lose the weight. But what I was doing with this guy was I was taking in less calories than was needed to maintain my body weight. And that was where I was losing the weight. Or losing the, do you know what I mean? Like, if you need 2,000 calories to maintain 190 pounds,
right,
and you take in 1,700 calories, you're not going to maintain, you're going to lose because you're not taking in the amount to maintain. So that's what he did with me. But on top of that, I had ridiculous workouts.
Well, and again, I know I'm a babe in the woods here. I know nothing when it comes to health and fitness. If you're taking in less than you need to maintain what you are, and pushing your body to limits with insane workouts, are you not going to have enough fuel in the tank? How does that work? How are you building? So
it comes down to, and this is like, I'm not a professional. I don't want anybody to think that I am by any means, but this is just from my own experience. And like I said before, everyone's different, but in the general populace of what I have witnessed with your food, like you can take in 2,500 calories in McDonald's cheeseburgers, or you can take in
easily
2,500 calories in spinach and chicken and rice, and that fuel will maintain you longer than, a cheeseburger, so to speak. So,
right.
And also,
well, it's the way, clean gasoline, regular gasoline, all that kind of shit works too, right?
Exactly.
It's quality.
So, like at first it sucked because, you were like, oh shit, like I'm hungry. I feel, but the hunger thing, a lot of the time it is just you're thirsty because your body, your mind, it can't physically differentiate the feeling between hunger and thirst.
Right. And you're full, I guess, right?
In a way, I guess. No. Okay, so
not at all.
If you're full, you're full. But I mean, whenever you get a hunger pain in your stomach, like everybody knows what a hunger pain is. Your body has your mind has the exact same signal of hunger pain to thirst. They're the exact same feeling. If you feel hungry, if you're dehydrated and you're thirsty, you have the exact same feeling in your body if you're thirsty than you are if you're hungry. And that's why, like, there's a lot, and it's funny because when I was younger, and I feel maybe not a lot of people went through this, but like I feel this happened to me as a kid when I was like, I'm hungry, and my parents would be like, you're probably just thirsty.
My parents never said that to me, man.
Okay, so that's why I said, like, I'm not sure if it was just my parent. And okay, so the reason why I think that this is true is because I would find, and like myself personally, and I know it happened to my wife a couple times, like you feel a hunger pain, and I don't know, like, have you ever fasted before?
Yes.
Okay, so
yes, I have.
Obviously, when you fast, you drink water. Like, that's the only thing you can...
Yeah, well, you can't go... Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so when you fast, now I know, like, in the mornings, I do fasting in the mornings. Like, I'll go, usually, and I've just started doing this a while ago, but I did it before for a while. If you have hunger pains and you drink a bunch of water, the hunger pains go away. And like I think that is just I think that goes for everybody because you're putting something in your stomach. To take
that's
away.
What I've always thought is just having something in filling the space.
Exactly, and it might not last for a while, but I also find that if you get a hunger pain, because and I don't know if you, but like me personally, because I'm a breakfast eater, in the mornings I'll get I'm like, fuck, I'm hungry as shit. I can feel my stomach like almost eating myself.
Yeah.
But it only like if you struggle through it for 10 minutes, it goes away because what happens is,
well, you start to tap into your reserves, right?
and that's just it. Even the leanest fighters, like 3% body fat is enough reserves to last you hours. 3%.
Is that all though? Hours?
Well, I'm far from 3%.
Like, okay. Currently, do you mind giving your stats for the people?
Ask away. What do you mean?
What are your stats? What do you okay, I'm 5'7".
Yeah.
On my best day.
Yeah.
Currently, I'm like 168 to 170.
I wish I was you.
Well, actually, I'm overweight. Am I not?
technically
for my height, right?
So yeah, okay. So
shouldn't I be like 155?
Yeah, but that I don't believe in. You're talking about your BMI, your body mass
Yeah,
index.
yeah.
Yeah. So maybe for you, I don't know, but I know in general that body mass index is basically put towards. Sorry if I can't fucking think of the proper word. It's put towards like a basic person with no muscle mass, no nothing. Like it's
not even average, less than average?
No, I would say
average?
maybe average with like no. But so me, I'm the same. I'm 5'7".
You're only 5'7"?
I'm 5'7".
Oh shit, dude! Are you taller than me? Am I not 5'7"?
I'm like 5'7" and like
don't take that away from me.
I'm like 5'7" and a half.
Ah, you cocksucker.
Anyway, whenever I look at my body mass index, it says I should be like 150, 155.
Yeah, me too.
But if I like when I'm down to 170, I look fucking good, and like I'm not.
Yeah, but your body is so much different than mine.
Okay, and that's where I'm getting to. That BMI index that you Google or you look online is not based on it. It's a generic, one-dimensional, one person. You know. So when it says, and now here's a good example. Whenever I was 170 before that, before my wedding, okay? Mm-hmm. They have this machine at the gym I go to. I can't think of a name for it, but basically you stand on it and it sends electrical signals through your feet. And it measures your body fat is what it does.
Okay.
The shape that I was in when you seen me last month when I was on my...
Yeah, your peak there, yeah.
I jumped on that scale about a week or two prior to that, and the scale came back and said that I was borderline obese because and that's what I'm saying. The BMI and all it is not.
It doesn't take into account your regimen and your actual health.
It doesn't take muscle. It's just your basic fat, whatever
weight
else.
ratio, height to weight ratio.
Yeah,
okay.
The average guy that doesn't.
So how do you really find out what you should be?
Again, I don't think there if you feel good, if you look good, and if you feel healthy, I think you know what I mean. Like right now, I don't feel as healthy as I should be. And I'm going to be completely honest. I could be doing a lot better.
Look, well, let me throw at you like this.
Well, let me answer your question first.
Sure.
Before we get off topic.
Sure.
So, to find out how you should be, I think it basically goes on how you feel. Because there are certain people out there, so we'll say like the Mr. Olympias, for example, they're 350 pounds or 270 pounds of pure muscle and absolute monsters. And, you know, just walking, talking hulks. And they feel good that way. That's what they enjoy. They like being these big, monstrous Hulk type people.
But is that because they feel good because they're powerful, or feel good because they're healthy?
They feel good because they feel good. There's no, their mindset. They like how they feel. I feel good whenever I don't want to be.
But that does not equate health. Feeling good does not equate to a healthy body.
Well, I mean, in talking in perspective of like being like under the influence, you can feel good under the influence.
Yeah, absolutely. But there is a thing as too much exercise or too much.
Oh, absolutely. There's certain women out there that can't. They are unable to reproduce because they are too fit. They're too muscular.
Wow.
Too muscular. They just can't. I don't know of
any.
Man,
the human body's amazing.
So. Anyways, basically, like, I don't know. There very well could be, like, a way to tell how you should be. Like, there might be
for you as an individual?
Exactly.
Yeah?
I'm not sure
what... That would have to be a complex equation.
But, I don't think it would be.
No?
No, because I think how it would work, and I would almost guarantee there would be something out there if I was to bet some money on it.
Sure.
All you would have to do, I think, would be to measure... Like, find out your muscle mass index. And there's ways to do that. There's scales that'll measure how much muscle you have. Mm-hmm. Like the scale I was on, it measures how much water you have in your body. It measures your fat percentage. And it measures, I think, it might even measure your muscles. I'm not sure. But that's only electrostatic pulses that go through your feet up to your body. And I was told that it's not 100% accurate. There's more accurate ways to do it. But, to answer your question, I don't think it would be very complicated because it would be time consuming because you would have to measure your waist, like get a whole bunch of measurements, mm-hmm. Measure your neck, your waist, your wrist, and put that into the mathematical equation to find out what you should be to be where you.
Sure.
But also, it also comes down to what you want to be because I could be two different ways. I could be that lean guy by my wedding, mm-hmm. or I could also be that bulky fucking gorilla.
Could you be that lean guy at your wedding and still be the man, husband, and father you are currently?
Well, I mean, I don't think my body would affect my fathering.
Well, what I mean by that is your time. your time regimen and budgeting and how that would...
Like how much time I put into...
Yeah, well, dude, it requires a lot of effort. It requires commitment.
That's a good question. Regardless of what